Turner. Why choose Turner? Principally because when I'm around his paintings I get a very strong musical dialogue. Well, this is very like another picture that I saw called View of Margate years ago. It was just a kind of a moment in between rehearsals actually down in town, and I stood in front of a view of Margate and looked at it for a minute or two and just started crying. And I don't know why, except that I found it, and the same as this one, find it incredibly moving. I get this kind of tremendous sense of reassurance. I'm researching the Colour Beginnings work mainly of J.M.W. Turner. I am composing some new music about some selections of that stuff. Turner's mentor, John Ruskin, spoke of the intelligence of Turner's eye. He had this way of seeing that was both inspirationally lyrical and intellectual. What's most important is that sun, is that light coming from behind that rock that gives that kind of crispness there, and then it diffuses here. This might be water, it might be, who knows what it is, it doesn't really matter. I can never stop liking that. I just couldn't look at it forever and a day, really. With the Colour Beginnings and the watercolour sketches, you see far more edges, but he capitalised on the chance event, which with watercolour is absolutely part of the medium. Once that paint sinks into the paper, you've got to deal with that reality, and it's just like playing music, it's just like improvising, in the sense that, you know, you reach out for an A flat and you got to deal with it. You have to respond to the reality, the new reality that you have just thrown into the arena. That's what jazz musicians do. Well, it's so similar, particularly to the watercolour thing. I mean, I love the oils as well, but I gravitated towards the watercolours. As soon as I thought I might do this project, I moved towards the watercolours, you know, instinctively. Well, you know, when people talk about saxophones, one of the cliches is that they love the smoky, you know, atmospheric jazz club type vibe about saxophone sound. That, you know, the way that you do that is a particular way of holding your embouchure, which is this stuff here, the muscles around. The way you hold the mouthpiece and the reed in a particular kind of a way that you're very gentle with it, and you relax your embouchure sufficiently so that you can let the air through, but then you've got to really control quite acutely the behaviour of the reed on the mouthpiece, because if you get it wrong, you just lose the sound completely. But it's a very kind of fine technique, and you know, the nth degree of it is just so great to hear. You know, it's so great to hear all the masters playing with techniques like that. And it's the same with Turner. You know, he's just so right and so balanced and so proportioned. You know, and it's like infinitesimal pieces of judgment small pieces of judgment about something which looks so fast, so spontaneous, but every microsecond he's making good judgments about what he's doing. My father died when I was 5, and my mum lined us all up the day after he died, and she said, he's not with us, but he's up there, and he's watching over us, you know, he'll be present in some way. So I kind of, in my 5-year-old state, I sort of spent some time wandering around looking sort of, where is he, you know, and that transferred in adult life. I found a sort of huge optimism from skies, particularly. He just ranged through so many things. Seascapes, landscapes, lakes, river, mountains, snow, all weather conditions, frosty weather conditions, mist so you can hardly see the hand in front of your face, and he painted them. He just didn't back off anything. There's one of the things that in my Sky sketchbook, night. It's like grey. It's grey. It comes towards the end of the book, and it's fantastic. So it's a big challenge, you know. He puts up a big challenge, and you have to actually kind of rise to it. You really have to rise to it. But that's the great thing about the guy. You know, it's just wonderful.
Thank you.